I'm already halfway to a comic because of my rap name, Dr. Crazy, shorten it to DC. DC, there you go, you already got a comic. So, I'm already a comic. It's kind of cool. One of the things I found out recently was just realized that in Wizard of Oz, poppies are opiates. Now I get why they all got so sleepy all of a sudden. They all got like high in that movie. So would you call that a field trip? I'm starting this project called Inhalers for Christ. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but like a lot of preachers, like in churches, especially if you go to like the Pentecostal, like old school Baptist churches, that heavy breathing thing isn't for emphasis. They're actually dying of asthma. Like, why do you think they're out there screaming, "Y'all don't hear me. Somebody help me." Like, they're actually like going down and y'all are clapping. Like that's some dark stuff right there. People like, the irony of it is here they are dying of asthma and their last words are going to be, "Let God breathe on you. Can you feel his breath? Can you feel it?" Like, as you're like expelling the last bits of air from your lungs. FYI, screaming, "Y'all can't hear me," while you're standing there at the pulpit is like blasting 7.1 stereo audio in a library for quiet time. One of the most ignorant questions I get asked when showing up to like church is, "Are you blessed, brother?" Like, no offense, but if I was blessed, do you honestly think I'd be here? It's one of those like, it's just a joke, but like a lot of people, when they're like having when they're going through a tough time, they're like, they got to get back to church and everything. No one ever says, "I'm doing good, I got to get back to church." Like, it's just not something people do. I used to like get in trouble in church for like making jokes and stuff. This actually is kind of like a therapy right now. No, but for real, like one time, like I was in the middle of like we're listening to the pastor preach, and he was like, "And God's gonna send down the rain. Yes, children, he will send down the rain." And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, "And me without an umbrella." Of course, my mom didn't think that was funny. So then he continues. He says, "Say blessings," and so everyone shouts, "Blessings." He says, "Say it again." And then so they say it again, "Blessings." So he replies, "I can't hear you." And just as I'm about to say something, someone in the back, like before I can even say anything, says, "For the love of God, turn up your hearing aid." True story. So I'm getting kind of tired of giving up my jacket to cover some lady's lower region because she got drunk before church and passed out at the altar. Exposing herself in a short dress. Yeah, that's really a thing. Like, so like I'm at this like convention, and you don't believe how many times people see me and they're like, "Oh, it's a gentleman, so he'll just give up like his jacket because like my friend got drunk and she's masking it as she got slain in the spirit." And thinks I'm a dummy. Like, slain in the spirit, my butt. You had a double portion of communion, didn't you? But you're definitely full of the spirits. 80 proof spirits. Like, this lady isn't dancing in new wine. Like, she's bathing in it. Like, maybe the front row should have a mandatory dress code. Like, then you went knee covering. Like, which is ironic because people go to the front for the Holy Spirit's covering. Like, ask Jesus for a jacket. Like, have some faith. Like, this is Calvin and Klein. Like, this, you're not having this. This like, go ask for some fresh white robes or something. Like, I'm not giving you this. Ungrateful parasite didn't even give me her number. If you're out there, you owe me some serious dry cleaning money. Like, the bartender on 7th Avenue knows your face, and the one on 8th, 12th, 1st, and Main. Like, there isn't an AA meeting in a 100-mile radius that doesn't already have your picture plastered on the wall of shame. Oh, and heads up, they're totally recalling your 30-minute sober token. So, Jesse Duplantis, I don't know if he means to be funny. He's known, oddly enough, for his humility, but not like in the way you're thinking. So, like, this is like something he would say. "I'm not bragging, but I donated a Rolex to a homeless kid. He didn't even have arms, praise God, but I felt he needed a Rolex. I donated houses. That's God, not me. I gave to charities. I'm not bragging. I've got a big house. Like, it's like every time he says something, like, he just ended there. Like, that's God, like, right there. Like, because it's like saying America didn't blow up an entire island in World War II. The atomic bomb did. Like, so someone told me I can't be a Christian because I'm not perfect. And I'm like, neither am I, but like I'm addicted to this group thing. Like I feel like those people at like a book reader conventions, like they didn't even read the book. Like the guy next to me is like, do you know what this is about? I'm like, they read the book and they don't even know what it's about. Like I'm just here for the potluck. Now shut up before you blow my cover. Like I was talking to a therapist about my mental conditions, which I have several. I don't talk about them a lot, which I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to talk about them more. Because it's hard for me to explain them. And, you know, a lot of people can't help me. But, you know, I guess the more I talk about them, it'll be easier to explain them. So I decided to open my heart up recently. And to this therapist. And telling her about all of them, my mood swings and stuff. And this dummy reaches in her desk and pulls out a piece of paper with the wheel drawn on it. And this is the emotion wheel. I kid you, you cannot make this stuff up. So she's like, this is the emotion wheel. You'll notice here we have sadness, and here is anger, and there is happiness. And I am like 20 years old at this point. Like, if I don't know how to recognize those things, like, I think there might be something wrong with me. But so she's like, you don't have mood swings. You're experiencing emotions everyone else has. I know this stuff, trust me. So like, okay, so any sane person would have just shrugged it off, right? But I'm at a mental health clinic. So I didn't shrug it off. I just start like attacking her, like verbally, just like, what do you mean? Like, what are you even thinking? Like that's so dumb. And how dare you? What gives you a right? You sit there with your degrees. Then she drops like the bomb on me. She's like, you know what? Actually, I don't have a degree. Like, wow. How do you even respond to that? It's like pulling up to like some fancy club and a dude walks up to you and it's like, you can't enter. And you're like, I can't enter? Like, who are you? The owner? He's like, nah, dog. I'm the janitor. Put some respect on that before I take this mop and wipe the floor with you. But you know, some of them aren't bad. Like one time I went to this doctor's office. It was you know, for my mental health, and the doctor asked how I was doing. I'm like, Doc, I hear voices. They're always telling me to do things, you know, I don't want to do. I try to tune them out, but I can't. And his ears perk up. Most of the time they don't listen, but this time he did, because like it's kind of got him nervous. And I look over at my mom, and she has this horrified look on her face, and she says, son, cut that out. So without missing a beat, I say, that's one of the voices. And he did not laugh. He looked so serious. Like, I don't know, maybe he like got flashbacks, and maybe someone like killed themselves or something, and he thought it was his fault or something. But yeah, he was not buying that. So yeah, that was like mission failed. I was enrolled in another clinic, and they asked me if I have any kids. I'm like, not that I know of. You should have seen my grandmother's face, because I was there with my grandmother. She's very conservative. So I'm like, I call her Nana. I was like, Nana, it's a joke. You know, I'm just breaking the ice. All right. You know, this place is like really like, I get anxious and everything. You know, I saw a guy in the lobby threatening to kill anyone that changed the TV channel. The TV wasn't even on. You know what? No, actually, there wasn't even a TV in that room. So I'm just like trying to cope here. So I went to another health clinic. Place looked like a sanitarium. You go in, you gotta go through like a metal detector and everything. And I had to use the restroom. So everything in the bathroom had lock boxes on it. Even like the handle for the urinal had like a box around it. So like I was thinking to myself, what if I were to get like a bout of like depression? Like my plans to hang myself using dental floss from the handle of the urinal are like totally kaput. Like, dang it, they caught me. And there was, not to mention, when you go over to the sink, there wasn't even a faucet. Like there was a pipe that spouted water from inside the counter. Because we all know when someone's suicidal, the first thing they do is find a sink faucet to bash their head against. Like just because someone's suicidal doesn't mean they can't feel pain. Like that's gonna hurt. I don't care who you are. So yeah, I don't know why they removed the sink. And as I'm starting to think about it, like the place didn't even have like a regular mirror. Like when you go to like a bathroom, it's like one of those community park places where they have like the circus mirror looking thing. And I'm like, wow, that just totally completes the mood. We're at a mental health clinic. This is the perfect thing for people with body image problems. A circus mirror. At least they can't hang themselves by the urinal. I go to a lot of mental health clinics. I actually question my sanity a lot sometimes, but yeah. Went to another one. Got punched in the waiting room of a mental health clinic. Just given the amount of people on edge at mental health clinics, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Seems a bit odd. Anyways, I walked into the main seating area. There's a radio station playing old hits. Well, like old for me, because like I'm in my early 20s. I don't know, some people listening might not think it's old, but one of the songs happened to be, and don't laugh too hard, Hotel California. Which looking back really set the mood for the place. I don't know. So here's this dude in a chair and he's bobbing his head to Hotel California. So I'm like, whoa, like that's cool because I appreciate some of that older music. So I walk up to him and I tell him it's so nice to meet someone that appreciates the Eagles. So there's a little minor detail that I didn't notice that caused things to go south really fast. I didn't know the guy was a Patriots fan. He did not like the Eagles. Let's just say that. So Donald Trump was asked to weigh in on Russia invading Ukraine. And I'm going to paraphrase a bit. He said that, Putin's very smart to take a piece of land that no one's going to stop him from taking. He knows no one's going to do anything about it. He was quoted as saying, Ukraine's a nice piece of real estate. Off the record, I'm sure afterwards, he was like, oh man, that was a great hostile takeover. Probably what he called it, a hostile takeover, right? Oh. I bet if Donald Trump was president during 9/11, he would have been like, that's because they have terrible infrastructure. I'd like to see them do that to Trump Tower. I get why they call the USA the Americas. Because we have so many Americas. We've got Black America, Asian America, White America, Poor America, Rich America, Conservative America, and Liberal America, just to name a few. Like people just, like whatever you're feeling, like just add America to the end of it. I've got dual citizenship, okay? I've got one foot in White America and the other foot in whatever I'm feeling like today, America. Like, tomorrow it might just be, get off my lawn, America. I don't even know. I might just do something crazy, like do a comedy skit. So I had an orthodontist consult because of my jaw's kind of messed up. They take me to the back to get some x-rays taken. They have this big machine that spins around your head. So she asked me to stand straight and tall. Then she asked me if I'm standing tall, which, let me give you a little bit of background on this. This lady, all right, first of all, I'm like 6'4", okay? And this lady has to be about, I don't know, 5'8", 5'9". This lady's talking to my waistline, asking me if I'm standing tall. I'm like, nah, shoddy, this here's my pimp walk for shizzle. And to top it off, she's looking at my mouth like there's something wrong with it. At a jaw surgery consult at the orthodontist, like there's something wrong with my mouth. Oh. She was funny though. She was like, your teeth are like, and I'm like, sob stories from a narcissist, patrons in a museum, two magnets that aren't opposite, I know they're not touching. That's why I'm here. You know when they get that once in a million case and they use you as an example of what not to look like? Like, it's embarrassing enough just having a disorder. So this is just a word of caution. If you're an intern and the doctor calls you in and you see there's something abnormal about my appearance, and the first thing you ask is, so how long does he have? Nothing personal, but I will start swinging. Like, dummy, you're lucky it's not contagious. Raps aren't the only thing I spit. Like, for real. Like, this actually happened. Like, I was going into the doctor and they were like, you know, because I'm like tall, and they were saying, you know, the interns like, have they talked to you about Marfan syndrome? I was like, no. He said, people with Marfan syndrome, they have like long fingers. Like you. They're usually tall. Like you. And, you know, they usually have those, like these lines in your arm. I'm like, I swear if this guy says like you one more time, I want to jump on him. I was went to this eye doctor appointment, and I was telling the doctor about, you know, by the way, you know, I found out recently I don't have Marfan syndrome, so that's good. I was talking to the eye doctor, and I was telling him about, you know, how I thought I had it, and so I was looking it up, and it appears that, you know, Marfan syndrome isn't as deadly as it used to be. You know, people now can live a full life. You know, there's a lot of famous people that had it, you know, like Abraham Lincoln and Osama bin Laden had it. Osama bin Laden, you know, he could have definitely lived longer, but it wasn't Marfan that killed him. It was a bullet. So yeah. And without skipping a beat, the eye doctor says, yeah, Abe Lincoln, same story. I was talking to my crazy friend, and I was telling them that HEB was having a hat sale. They're like, HEB doesn't sell hats, so I know you're just messing with me. I don't know what it is with this generation, but they expect everything to be pre-made and ready to use. Like, they have the hat making materials at HEB. I don't know how hard it is to fold aluminum foil. Like, for real. Aluminum foil hats aren't that hard to make. I might just be a little bit high, but isn't it ironic that people love the word protest, but they don't like COVID tests? So you're like pro-test, but not like pro-all tests? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's funny though, because people act like, you know, I know it's a sensitive topic, so I try to keep it light and everything. I try to be understanding too. Like, I'm usually understanding of a lot of points, even if I don't agree with it. I'm usually pretty respectful of how people got to a certain belief in a point. And so they're like, you pro-choice or you pro-life? I'm like, neither. Like, people act like there's only one or the other. Like, they're like, well, you either like believe in life or you're on the fence. Yo, I'm pro-death. Like, no, just hear me out. Hear me out. I think that humanity had a chance, and we're just in a downward spiral. So, like, we're just like an airplane crashing, and the pilot's trying to get a handle on the wheel and everything, and the whole time he's screaming, Mayday, 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 abort, abort, abort. So, you know, we're going down. I just don't think we need any more humans. Like, you know, all this time, and what do we have? TikTok? Like, you kidding me? So I heard I need to make my thumbnails more flashy to get views on YouTube. So I was like, here's an idea. Watch me skydive off the Empire State Building with no parachute and no net. I started a GoFundMe account for bail money. My friend's like, that's cool, but this is like a chess video. Like, I don't know where you're getting that. I'm like, I don't know, extreme sports maybe? Jumping off the Empire State Building with like a chessboard? Yeah, I gotta write that down actually. So, y'all might not know this, but I grew up like in the deep south, very conservative. The church believes that people with mental disorders are demon-possessed down there. Went to see Kenneth Copeland. It was cool. I saw a grown man slap the daylights out of 50 people in the front row while shouting, "Be healed, spit flying." And they were clapping for him. Thank God the nice people behind him were there to catch them. It looked like some sort of spiritual trust fall. Like, thank God, someone catch me. Like, it was like a mix of Pokemon and an EMT specialist because they were like, we got a man down, gotta catch them all. Saw a lady racing around the sanctuary like we're at Woodstock, and some stoner just shouted, we got free weed. And the minister's wife was chanting spells and incantations while trilling in a corner surrounded by wax candles. Hell is actually starting to look very appealing right about now. Even Satan's like, chill out, y'all. Chaos is my job. You're going to get me fired. I've lost job as director of the Lord's Choir. I need this. So they made an Assassin's Creed game without assassins. Ubisoft, you've really outdone yourself this time. Having an Assassin's Creed game with assassins playing on the sidelines is like the new Rocky reboot, putting in Sylvester Stallone as a cameo appearance. Like, if they just put in a couple assassins, everyone's going to be happy. Like, they should just keep both names as Creed and drop the assassins part. People say I'm a sheep for being pro-vaccine. You have to understand, these are the same people treating COVID with ivermectin. For any of you that didn't grow up on a farm, that's Texan for dewormer. They would know what sheep are. People keep talking about World War III. They've been doing it for decades. Like, when it actually happens, even Iran is going to be surprised. Like, the Taliban's going to be like, finally, I don't know what we did, but we have us a ball game. Like, North Korea will finally be able to push that big red button they've been claiming they'd push for the better half of 5 years. Also, in other world news, we have a list of supporters for Russia's invasion of Ukraine, including North Korea. You know that guy that could launch a missile in the air but couldn't tell you where it was going to land? Like a game of nuclear pin the tail on the donkey? That's when that failed. They stopped making nuclear weapons. Weird flex, Russia. North Korea is like that annoying sibling you have to bring along because mom said so. Speaking of Kim Jong-un, this guy's so paranoid he won't use public restrooms because he's afraid they'll run tests on his bowels and find out he has health problems. Like, I don't know, like find out he's overweight or something maybe. Because we all know Kim is the Arnold Schwarzenegger of Asia, right? The epitome of fitness. Like, his security guards are probably whispering to each other, do you think someone should tell him? When the world finds out he's overweight, he's going to be like, all right, who touched my crap? I told y'all, no one touched my crap. That's it. I'm out. It's been fun talking. Thanks for listening.